Welcome back to the Afterparty podcast. I'm over here now. Took me a week to get here, but
I teleported instantly.
Oh yeah, and you're just flexing on me. My morale was at an all-time low.
It was a flex.
Okay. I thought I was looking at your hand.
Dude, there's an episode.
Like,
there's like I think like episode 1 or 2 where you like point and you almost rip your sleeve. You fucking.
Cameron's lucky I'm wearing a jacket.
Excuse me. Oh man, yeah, we learned the hard way from the first couple episodes. I told Adam to put a jacket on.
The gym?
Who? I don't know Jim.
So I don't know. One of the first like decent conversation topics that pops in my head for this episode is teachers, good and bad, and just general funny school stories.
Fuck school.
Yeah, because I mean everyone can relate to it, you know. Mm-hmm. So, did anyone have like? Did you guys ever have like a kid in your class that like? He was kind of an outcast. Like he was like kind of just a loner. Mm-hmm. But there wasn't anything, like he wasn't mean or anything. Yeah. He wasn't super nerdy. He was just kind of like, just by himself, you know? And, like every once in a while he would just like say shit that was really, like, he would do or say shit that was like really funny. Did it ever happen? Like,
I like to think that was me, but I don't think I was that funny.
Yeah, I was gonna
say the first two parts nailed me.
No, but I mean like you're,
third one not as much.
Like more that has, that like when I think of a kid like this, like they have more like, social issues. Like they're not as sociable as
social anxiety.
Yeah, more social anxiety.
Yeah, no, it's still thinking me.
I mean, yeah, my brother actually said, my brother said something verbatim to me like that. Where it's like, Pat, you never fucking say anything, but when you do, it's really funny.
Make it count.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess me kind of. I don't think I was that funny. I also definitely wasn't funny in front of groups of people I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough though, because Adam and I have talked about this. I tend to be a chameleon. Mm-hmm. You know, like if you're with someone new that you don't know super well, you kind of just like kind of shape your humor around what you know.
Yeah.
Like of the few experiences you've had with this person, you know what makes them laugh,
right?
What they enjoy, so you kind of mold your humor to that. Like there's a meme recently I saw. It was like, I really love your personality. It's like, thanks, I created this one just for you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I do that too. I do that a lot too. It's like groups of people I think I'm funnier in for some reason, and I just can't do that around everyone. Mm-hmm. Like just objectively funnier for some. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. It depends on definitely the people. Because like you said, I do this thing where I like when I'm hanging out in a new group of people, I'll catch like one joke one guy makes a lot and just like take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you like next time you see that dude, you make that joke like again, and now that's your running joke with that guy, and now you're in, dude.
But if you don't put more work into it, you're stuck at that one level for the rest of your fucking life.
Right. That's like
the
guy.
Like a Family Guy joke about the Red Sox.
I don't know that one.
Peter's like, oh god, I don't like talking to your friend's husband because we talked about baseball at one time, and every time I see him, he talks about the Red Sox.
Yeah,
no,
that's
like,
actually true.
It's like one thing you bond with someone over. It's like that's the only thing forever now.
Yeah, that's the worst.
What were you saying?
I hate when you also bring something up to someone you rarely see, and then you end up like it's something you're gonna do, and you end up not doing it. So the next time they see you, you're like, "How'd that go?" And you're like,
"Oh yeah,
what?"
Like you should check out this album or something. And you're like, "Did you listen to it?" Like,
it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty forgettable.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember whether or not I listened to it. So what does that tell you? What were you saying? I'm sorry.
This guy I work with, like, that's kind of what I did. He would, he'd make these jokes where, like, he would just, like, I think I've told you about this joke a million times. Mm-hmm. He would, like, look over, we'd be joking around or whatever, and we're about to go to lunch, and we'd both, like, stand up because he sits next to me at work. He'd be like, give me $20. He'd usually give me $20. And they go, what? Just give me $20. I'm like, no. So then I started taking that joke, and then anytime I'd see, like, he'd walk in and be like, give me your laptop. Just like, you just say, like, anything. Like, give me that.
You get the funny one. I think the first one he told was like, give me your shoes.
Oh, yeah. I wore, like, new shoes in work. He's like, give me your shoes. I wore in like a new sweatshirt to work the one day that I just got after Christmas. He's like, give me your sweatshirt right now.
He's like, hey, that's nice. Yeah, give me that. Give me that right now.
Yeah, it's like great. Stupid, but I stole that now. It's just like...
And now we do it, kind of. Like, we'll get into it full throttle soon. I know it. But, like, it's...
You ever excited about an inside joke? Where you figure out the format one day, and you're like, this is going to be so applicable all the time.
For sure. That's this one.
We've had so many. Yeah,
So give me a podcast right now.
I think I think the most recent one is probably what is this? Jeez, that's true. I've said it like 3 different times on the last stream, the Breath of the Wild thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just stuff like that. So, but yeah, there's a type of kid. I think that like.
Did you have a kid like that?
Yeah, his name was Kyle. I won't say his last name, but
Kyle Kyleton.
Kyle Kyleson, son of Kyle. So I don't know. He was just like, he was very awkward, but he was a nice kid, you know. Yeah. And he was always like kind of off to himself. But he started one of the funniest inside jokes between me and my best friend in Florida. Still to this day makes me laugh. Is dogs with human names. Just anything like a like a dog named Kevin or something. See,
like here, Jeremy. Here,
like
come on, Jeremy.
Yeah, like Glenn. His dog name's Glenn.
Oh, Herbert.
Yeah, just like So I mean, I've laughed about it so much now, and the joke has kind of been made on the internet. Like this was in 2009 or 10.
Kyle was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he really was, and so it was it was a test in psychology, and my teacher at that time had a lot of pets, and she had like 5 or 6 dogs or whatever, and she's like, if you can name 2 or 3 of my dogs and 3 of my cats that I've talked about, you get extra credit. So it's just like a fun little thing.
Right.
And so she was like, at the end of the test, or like she was handing it back after she graded it, and she's like, can anyone else guess? Like, so here we go, I'm going to reveal the names or whatever. And she's like, she named like 4 of the dogs, and she was waiting for the last one. She's like, does anybody know the last one? And he was just kind of like, the whole time he was just kind of like this. And then like he said it like under his breath, but me and my friend were sitting right behind him, and he was just like, Kevin. And like he said that, and we just pissed ourselves, and no one heard him, so we looked like lunatics. But he just, and then there was another time where like I had another class with him, like a different grade, and he would like he was like kind of antsy, and he would like sometimes, you know, the desks with the built-in, like the chair that's attached to the desk. He would kind of like pick at it, and if there was like a screw loose, he would like tend to unscrew it or something, just like a fidgety thing. And
it just sounds like you're describing me. Like I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I do it in high school. I'd like take apart my pens and put it back together. Just so I couldn't sit still.
Oh yeah. And so my teacher like noticed he would do that, and then sometimes he would kind of like leave the piece like on the desk, and she like asked him to stop, and it was like, happened to be the same day, and he kind of just did it again, like just without thinking about it, you know, like not in a malicious way, but it was the bar or one of the bars that connected the chair to the desk, and so it was probably about this big, and it was like just an L, and so she was like looking down. And he walks up to the front of the class with this bar in his hand, and he's like, "Mrs. Wood, I'm sorry." He's having this huge piece of this desk. I don't know how the desk was still standing because it was it seemed like it was so crucial to the structure of the structural integrity.
It was a load-bearing screw.
Yeah, so he just had this metal bar in his hand, and she was like, "Oh my!" She seemed speechless, but that made me laugh really hard.
The Kevin thing you said
to those kids
reminds me of I remember being in a Spanish class. I forget the context of the whole situation, but the teacher was trying to quiet down the room, and then from like everyone finally got quiet, and from the back of the room, I forget who it was, but you just hear one kid. It was like the line from SpongeBob. You just hear one kid go, "Anchovies." And dude, like everyone started laughing. They were like, "All right, quiet down. We gotta get on with the lesson." And everyone finally got quiet, and then you see anchovies. And you're like, oh my god.
And that was probably a time where like, I mean, SpongeBob was always huge, but that was probably a time where
like
it wasn't in everyone's life, but the teacher was probably like, what? Like,
what just happened?
Like now adults know most SpongeBob references.
Like us.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? Like my parents, if I make a SpongeBob reference, they'll know it's from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Unless it's really obscure, like
deep cut.
Blair.
Yeah.
You know? Or the thing. Was that with you or you?
Yeah, it was with me.
It was with you? I on stream I was talking about I was doing something in Breath of the Wild, and I just went, yeah.
Oh,
and
that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the and I was like, I don't know what that's from.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, but I was like, I know SpongeBob says that. And so fucking our buddy Kerbo in chat, like 2 minutes later, had the fucking
prom
exact
episode?
clip.
No.
What?
No, it wasn't the prom
No,
episode.
it was it's the one that you quote also all the time. The paint one where Patrick's like, careful.
Oh, that's right. Then he has the hair blower, right?
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
It's on the Discord.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, join the Discord. I'll put a link in the description. The Airspace Live.
That's such a quotable episode. The whole episode.
I remember seeing that when it aired. I remember that being new, and to me it'll always be new. But it's such a classic episode now, you know. That's the We Have the Technology episode.
Mm-hmm. We have technology.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And when that's when there's the speck of paint on the dollar, and he tries to run, and it just perfectly goes over the entire dollar, like all gray.
You messed up my dollar, Rama.
Just like
the one off. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did that predate Zoolander?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think it did.
Why do you say that?
Zoolander was because in
Zoolander
Zoolander there's a joke
90s.
where they're like, it's in the computer, and then they beat the shit out of the computer and try to find it.
Get the file.
Yeah, they break it. And they break it.
The first
folder or something. It's
Yeah.
in the folder on the computer or something like that.
I'm pretty sure the first Zoolander came out in like late 90s, early 2000s.
And when did SpongeBob
And
say?
that was like a 2004 or 5 episode of SpongeBob.
I want to say Zoolander's first.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I'm like 75%.
Brian
sure.
Schaefer just popped up.
Oh my god, dude.
Let me tell you about Brian Schaefer.
Yeah. If you haven't already, check out the last episode. Of the
2001 Zoolander came out. So you're still right, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And that was definitely
Makes
not
sense.
like second season, which is when that would have aired.
Right.
Yeah. I did that somewhere and no one knew. I was like, it's SpongeBob.
Yeah. Huh? Who?
Is that your old man?
Okay, boomer.
Make a Paw Patrol reference. Then you can talk.
Jesus.
You guys, fun facts about me. Do you guys know my uncle co-composed a lot of the music for Jake and Neverland Pirates?
I know that name. I don't remember what it is though.
It's like the Peter Pan spin-off for like kids on Disney
Disney.
XD or
Oh,
something.
cool.
Disney XD. I was gonna say that.
Oh, cool.
He's one of Captain Hook's crew in the show.
Oh,
That's
His
pretty
name's
neat.
Bones.
is it animated or live action?
It's animated.
Oh, so it is the voice. That's yeah.
That guy didn't really talk. He sings, but he never really talks.
Cool.
So he never does anything important to the plot, but he made a lot of the music for it.
Cool, man. That's dope.
Fun facts.
That's just that as a fun fact.
What's your like most famous connection? 'Cause that's not even mine anymore. I've expanded.
I'm like Chris Gatto. I don't even think I have a famous connection.
Really?
I've
Yeah,
spoken
zero.
to one of my idols over direct message directly. I don't want to say who it is because it's not really worth noting, and I don't want to
I know who.
Brag about it. Yeah.
You guys know about it, but it's someone that they said something to me that was nice, and I cried. So it was that level. So, yeah. So it wasn't just like a compliment. It was something about something I created, which that's kind of obvious, but he's a musician. So they complimented one of my songs that I sent them, and it was So that's probably the most. I guess that.
Okay. You don't have anything, Adam?
I'm
Even
not
like
the
obscure,
person.
even like a deep cut,
Well, a friend of mine
like
dated
something
someone,
not even worth bragging
A
about.
friend of mine dated someone that dated a famous streamer.
Oh my god! I was like, I legitimately was like, who? I was like,
Have you ever brought that up before on stream?
I
And do you care to?
I haven't. I don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
That's fair.
I
That's
mean-
fair.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh, so you're being sincere in your discretion.
Yeah. Like I literally don't.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
I literally don't have anything else. Like, I went to the same college as Andre Reed, Hall of Fame
Don't know
football
who that is.
quarterback.
Okay.
and I saw him at the game the one time.
Oh,
They
really?
named the
That's cool.
stadium after him.
Oh, word.
What?
I went to the same college as Saquon Barkley.
know
Also
who
the
that
most
is either.
populated college in the country.
Andre Williams was in. I kind of knew who he was at Parkland, and he was running back for the New York Giants.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Word.
That's pretty good.
It's a
Wait,
decent.
which college did you go to? Those most populated?
Penn State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It has the highest student body count. I shouldn't say count at the end of that, should I?
Who?
I was going to say, I said Penn State has the highest population of getting college in the country.
Yeah.
I think it's like 60,000 or something.
Yeah.
Jesus
that's a
Christ.
And I said, they have the highest student body count.
lot.
So, yikes. Phrasing.
Let's see. What's your new one?
I thought of another one, though, but go ahead. That I can talk about.
We've been working with this dude named Daniel Roebuck, who's moderately famous.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Cool. I met
If
him
he sees
recently.
this, I love you, Daniel. I didn't mean that as an insult. His probably most recognizable thing is that if he was in Lost, he's the dude who.
He was?
Yeah, he was the guy. He blew up because he was like he did this whole thing where they had to find dynamite or something, and he was like
guys, I found the dynamite.
No, he was berating the main characters for not treating it properly, and then it blows up in his hands and he dies.
I can remember that. I watched.
And what's really funny is he pointed out. Well, I'll try to get when, but right before that, he has a line that is also kind of berating the main characters, and he pointed out that it's the writers taking their anger out on the fan base because he was making fun of all the inconsistencies in the show, and then he literally gets blown up, which is really funny.
Wow. Yeah, dude, that show ended terribly. But that's a whole other podcast, Chris.
That wasn't Daniel's fault. I'll stand by him.
It's funny, like there's the whole 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like you've seen Daniel Roebuck in something. Like he's such like a prolific working actor.
He's a character actor.
Yeah, that you've seen him in something.
I'm gonna look him up.
My thing was
You see the face.
he was in an episode of The King of Queens, which is my favorite show.
He was also in The Fugitive, which means I'm 2 degrees from both Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones.
I met him, so now I'm 1 degree to Kevin James. That's all. 1 degree to Paul Blart Mall Cop. And 2 to Rob Schneider. So
that's not much of an issue.
That's really.
But you're also 3 to Sandler.
Yeah.
Or 2 to Sandler, I
because
guess.
they were 2 to Sandler. Because they were in Grown Ups.
Because I am Kevin James.
Yeah.
I'm 1 degree to Sandler.
And he was in an episode of The King of Queens towards the end.
I looked him up and Lost. I don't really remember that, but I thought I did.
He's in a bunch of there was he's in a DCOM, Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of Disney Channel stuff.
Yeah.
Briefly.
But my best friend in first grade. Yeah, first and second grade. His name was Alex Compothecris. And he was good friend. I was good friends with him in Florida. Mm-hmm. I played baseball with him years later, in early high school. We didn't contact. I was really good friends with him in first and second grade, and then when we played baseball again, we kind of became friends again. But I've known him most of my clocked in life, So I was watching. I was on Facebook and someone posted this show or posted a trailer for the show on MTV. It's called Siesta Key. And I used to live in Florida, and Siesta Key was the beach that I lived by. It was 10 minutes from my house. And I was looking, I was like, oh, they're doing a MTV reality show, The Hills or something. Remember that show? But it's just on Siesta Key. And so I'm looking at the cast, and I'm like, oh, who the fuck are these people? I was like, you'd think I'd know one of them. And then I see the house that it's in. I'm like, that's Alex's house. Because it looks like a fucking fort. His dad is a defense lawyer. He is there's billboards all over the place in Florida, and it says 1-800-ASK Gary. His dad's Gary, and so he
Gary.
And so he has so much money. If you're in Florida on the Gulf Coast, you probably know 1-800-ASK Gary, and that's it. So he has this huge house. It's at the very end of Siesta Key, and I was like, are they just using his house for the thing? And then at the end, I see him. I was like, what? Oh my God. I was like, that's him, and I'm like, it was crazy, and it's I don't know. They paid to have the pilot done, and then they sent it to MTV, and they put it together. It was the pilot was pretty high quality because they had enough money to make it high quality, So it was just so bizarre, and I showed my parents, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And so we watched the whole first season. It was an MTV reality show, what are you gonna do? But it was just really bizarre to see this person that I have known since I was a child on TV like that.
That is weird.
So, yeah. I haven't talked...
a bit, when you figured that out, were you was there a second where you're why didn't he tell me? Did that ever occur? Okay.
No, because we hadn't spoken since 2009 or 8.
Okay.
And even then it was just kind of we talked at games and practice and stuff. And I haven't really reached out to him. I don't think I have. Because I didn't want to, because now it would be hey... it made me seem I want to talk to you again because it's
the Siesta Key.
Yeah.
Why didn't we talk in high school?
Yeah. Yeah. I miss you.
That's my favorite copy pasta on Twitch when it's hey, it's me, Chad, from 10th grade
Tanner?
biology.
Dude, it's Tanner. Dude, oh my God. What was I watching? Dude, the Tanner meme is one of the best ones. They're hey, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. Haha, just kidding. It's me, Tanner, from high school. Still a loser, I see. I'm still busy fucking Megan.
Oh my God, that was so fun. we were at Applebee's a couple of nights ago
Applebee's
with the gang, and Dan was saying something, and it was pretty long-winded, but I'm pretty sure he was just like he was just coming up with it on the spot, and he was just like, and after a while, Chandler was like, "Oh my god, is this a copy pasta?" You remember that, right? It was in the corner booth when everyone got mad at me for asking for another soda because mine was flat. I asked very politely, okay, if I could just have like, and it wasn't like, hey, like I asked for Dr. Pepper, and it came and it was flat. And I was like, hey, buddy, would you mind, could I just get a Pepsi instead because this is a little flat, if you don't mind? He's like, yeah, no problem. Because I'm not going to be like, hey, can you give me another Dr. Pepper? Because I know it's the same gun, and it's going to be just as non-carbonated. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, can I just get a Pepsi instead? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And everyone's like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, we do
like,
that a lot.
if I ask politely, what's the problem?
Well,
You know what I mean?
fake outrage is basically our only inside. So you just make whenever anyone does anything, you just act like they're an asshole because of it.
So, well, yeah.
So we're like, dude, he's like, could you give me a Dr. Pepper? Except could you come over and just blow bubbles in it while I drink it?
Yeah, I think you said that. Yeah, but Dan made a comment on stream.
Oh my
last
God,
night. Adam just cried.
Which one was that?
It was the one about Cuphead being in Smash.
What did he say? I forget.
Oh my
remember it?
god. I remember it if you want me to say
Dan
it.
says a lot of stupid shit.
He said,
No, this was not stupid. This was
it's like now
fucking,
that, what's the new character, the Fire Emblem character they added to Smash?
Byleth.
Byleth. It's like now that they added Byleth and Cuphead to Smash, that makes two characters I want to drink milk from. I died. Like you know,
We might have to, I don't know. Can we put that on? Can we say that on YouTube?
Yeah, sure, dude.
No, that's fine. Dude, like when you think about it, like that, there's literally no that's the perfect thing to
Like,
say.
it fits.
There's
no tenuous element to it. It's perfect.
Dan says some real bangers sometimes.
That was like, there's no other thing you could have
He
said.
also
there.
says a lot of stuff where you're like, can I unsee that? Can I unread that? Like,
Dude, yeah.
I don't,
Yep.
my
A lot
life
of
is worse
nonsense.
off now.
A lot of nonsense before that, but
Yeah.
it led up to that and made it all worth it.
Yeah. Classic Dan.
Because like dude, like I don't know, that was just perfect.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know it until
And
you
the
said
wording
it.
was very efficient.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like Byleth and Cuphead are in Smash now. That means there are two of the characters that I could, milk. Haha.
Dude, it was perfect.
Yeah.
That's one of the best jokes I heard in a long time.
I'm framing that one. It's going on the wall.
Dude, for real, like it was just a perfect one-liner.
Yeah, you won't forget it.
Never.
That's a great idea. It's like framing, like actually writing it, just like framing it.
That's what I was saying. We should have a Discord room. What's the
You could even have a
Discord
Yeah.
channel? Yeah.
People have Twitch bots too that just post quotes.
Yeah, I was
Those
gonna
are
say
pretty fire.
we could give Cream Beans his own
That's true.
channel.
He'll just like
Let him go
pull
wild.
his comments. Or what?
No, just like if he thinks of something, he can just
Oh,
put it in there,
put it in
and
there.
it's all cream. That's the Cream Bean wall of
Wall of shame.
No. Number one, pocket shit.
Dude, for real.
Oh, that's fantastic, dude.
I haven't seen him in a long time. Hope he shows up again soon.
So, Adam, what's going on with the ears pierced?
Oh, what's going on with that?
What was that process like?
So,
I'm curious.
what do you mean the process? Like the decision?
Because it was a nightmare.
The conception in your head, where you're like, I should get my ears. What triggered that?
It's actually not like too crazy of a story. I was out with a few friends that I hadn't seen in a little while, and two of them had their ears pierced. I'm like, that looks pretty cool. And they always like, it's good luck. And they're like, yeah, you should try it out. So I did.
Yeah,
That's the whole story.
Because I was like, wow, that looks pretty good on that. I wonder if I could do that. That was it popped in
Dude,
my
I'm
head.
pretty convinced anyone can pull it off.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not really that crazy of a thing, and mine are really small.
Best part of mine is you can't see my ears anyway.
I was gonna
so
say
it'll actually be no
I was gonna
change.
say if you get it and you don't like it, you could just not put your ears.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with
Put
just
your
like
hair
little
from
black stud things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a pretty staple.
But tell him, I guess. I mean,
Oh yeah, and then I
Yeah,
went to a
there
tattoo
you go.
parlor and actually got done. Well, first I went to Piercing Pagoda. I'm gonna slam you guys online, all right? Because I went there and they totally like they draw little dots where they're gonna use the gun and shoot it through your ear. And I noticed this one
When
was
they're standing about 30 yards away.
launch it through my
like
ear.
some sandbags.
Yeah, I'm standing behind, like in front of a cement wall.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
You go,
Just
just on a,
then
just on a
put
stool.
your hands like this.
Yeah, you're just like on a stool. And you're just like,
So yeah, and then drew little dots. I thought the one looked a little higher, right?
Yeah.
And I should have said something, but I wasn't like sure because you're looking with a mirror and you only can really get one at a time. And I'm like looking, and I'm like, it looks a bit. Also, earlobes
This
are
is a
different.
professional, right? So
Yeah.
he should know what he's doing.
Maybe not professional.
Should.
It's a retail worker. I mean, whatever.
This guy's oh, this is the finest
Works at-
piercing Pagoda has to offer.
Yeah, he works at a pagoda. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, and earlobes are different. One is like longer. Like it just. So I was like, I think it's fine. But then when they actually shot it through, I didn't notice at first till I went home. They missed the dot even. They were higher than the dot. So it was like, it wasn't terrible, but it was noticeable enough to me. And like once I asked some people, they're like, it's definitely noticeable. Now you said something, and I was like, okay. Took them out. They healed up in like a couple days.
Yeah, it was insane how quick they like 2 days later. There was no mark or like.
Yeah, they healed up like
line.
instantly. I went to a tattoo piercing place around here, and the guy even said, he's like, you even have a scar. And it just healed up like instant. 'Cause I took him out like a couple hours after I got it done.
Right.
So, and then what they do is they don't use a gun. When you go to like, they use a needle, shove a needle through your ear. And he asked me after, he's like, so what hurt more, the gun or this? And like, it didn't really hurt more. It just felt like when they used the gun, it felt like a little like dink. Yeah, and it just goes through. It felt like he had like a sword and was just going into my ear like, open up, hello. And you're like, oh god. It just felt like he was jamming something huge through there.
Yeah.
But I got it done and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's also like at the dentist when you're like, they pull out the needle and you're like, it's not that big. And then in your mouth,
God.
you're like,
The Novocaine needle, dude, that thing's
Yeah.
terrifying. They come out
Dude,
like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's. And then someone in the back is like, okay.
dude, for real. I got a good laugh out of some dental hygienists for that joke.
Yeah.
I made that joke at a party to dental hygienists and they loved it.
I think I made that joke. I got a filling recently. I think I made that joke in the chair, and they were laughing.
and they're like, and you were like,
And I was
drilling your
like-
mouth, and you're like,
I was like,
And
please.
then they're like, as they're picking up the monster
Yeah.
needle.
And it's funny though, because like when you're younger, you're just kind of stressed and you're worried. But now I can totally see all of like the misdirections that they do, where like they're like, okay, look up here, and then she totally like brings the needle. She knows where to go, so I don't see it in my peripheral vision, and I know that. I'm like, okay, you know,
I want to see it the whole time. I want to know what's going on. You're just
look at
staring.
that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What's the thing? The guy asked me too. He's like, "How are you with pain?" I'm like, "I'm okay," and all that stuff. And it's like anything
you
like
with
that anymore.
pain?
It's just like,
Like I feel it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, what the
What question is
I
that?
have a weird question. So when you got them and they were not even, could you feel one hurt at a different height on your ear?
They don't really hurt.
Okay.
They don't like ache.
But like, could you
Not
feel them
mine.
existing at different heights? I guess.
No, I don't even feel the ones in it right now at all. Yeah,
You should get heavier ones.
I actually do want to get like something a little bigger. These are a little
Just get
small.
a little hoop.
Just get a little hoop.
Yeah.
You can get some link hoops, little blue
Yeah.
ones.
Dude,
Hoops.
yeah, my friend Dylan, who was a DJ at KUR. Shout outs to Dylan. He had link earrings.
That's pretty cool.
He had the exact because he had blonde hair and blue eyes, so he like
It works.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm happy I did it.
yeah,
Because why not?
looks good.
Because what if I what if I die?
You also apparently have super ears that regenerate at a lightning
Yeah,
pace,
Jesus
so you can
Christ.
just take them
So
out
you
whenever
fucking
you want.
do anything
My
you want,
immune
yeah.
system and all that stuff.
Yeah, so if
top-notch
anyone's
shape.
if anyone
I take vitamin C daily.
inject it through my ear.
You,
And
you,
vitamin
you
D.
got the ear piercing, and then your entire body diverted all of the energy to healing those, so you got sick.
Yeah.
Sleeping all the time, my body's healing. But yeah, it was
You
like
gotta get these operational again.
I figure like it's straight up just like why not try it?
Yeah.
Same with I kind of want to get a tattoo because
I guess I got an idea for a tattoo,
Yeah. What?
and someone said they'd design it for me, so I'm well on my way.
What is it?
yeah, what's
It's
because I have an idea as well.
there's a band called Them Crooked Vultures, which is a super group of Dave Grohl,
It's,
Josh Homme,
And John Paul Jones.
and John Paul Jones.
Interesting.
Fantastic album. But in one of the line in one of the songs is about a DIY lobotomy kit, which I think is very funny. So I want to get a DIY lobotomy kit.
What's the lobotomy again?
It's when you cut off the frontal lobe.
Okay, yeah.
It's just a very funny
Pretty dark.
DIY kit. Yeah.
Funny is kind of a liberal word to use. We're talking about lobotomies.
No, it's funny. It's a DIY lobotomy
Yeah.
kit because you're just like, all right, and then you sit it, and, and then you just fall forward.
My idea is actually kind of similar
Really?
because I took it from a song.
Oh, I know. I remember you talking.
Yeah. It's by Rainbow. So like Dio's first band. I don't know if it's his first band.
His like first
big one.
band. Yeah.
And it's the song Stargazer. It's like their most epic song. It's like an 8-minute song about a wizard like enslaving people and having them build a tower for him.
His name.
And like basically I think it'd just be dope to have a tower with a wizard and like some kind of scene. The cover of the album is this like fist coming out of these clouds and it's like grabbing a rainbow.
Uh-huh.
And it's like orange, kind of like eerie looking sky. So I kind of like that whole aesthetic. I like the idea of it being loosely attached to something, but not like obviously that.
Yeah, not like literal.
Dude, after the last couple of years, I want plausible deniability to anyone.
Yeah,
anyone famous. I just want to be able to be like, no, it's just a coincidence that it's like that.
Even if it is like, I got inspired by that, I'm like, it just looks cool.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of this like castle, tower thing, wizard, enslaved, like intense, orange, evil.
Satan!
more, but yeah, it's like, I think that'd be good.
So you're going pretty far with the first tattoo. Because there's like, sounds like there's like shading and like stuff involved.
Oh, yeah, like it wouldn't just be like right here.
Yeah, no, you want...
I'd probably go like pretty big. Like
really?
This region. Either this region or this region.
I'd go upper arm because then you could...
So I could hide it easier.
I'm getting mine on my right thigh because of front bottoms lyric.
Because what?
The band Front Bottoms. There's a lyric that's I have a tattoo on my right thigh that I'm gonna regret one day.
You do right now?
No.
I was like,
That's
what?
the Front Bottoms
Okay.
lyric. So
lyrics.
So even then it's twofold because then if I don't like the band anymore or something, and I don't like it, then I'm still in reference to something.
Yeah,
I have a fail safe for this tattoo.
What if somebody...
built in. It's like a built-in fail safe.
Say, what if someone like... they're part of the Me Too thing now, and like all this, like think about how many people have got like Bill Cosby quotes, on their face.
Dude,
that's always the first thing that people come up with for some reason, and I don't think anyone. You always see the pictures where it's like for some photorealistic Bill Cosby on someone's upper back. And you're like, why the fuck would you get that to begin with? Before he was an awful person, that wasn't a good idea.
It's not like everyone's like, oh, right on. I love him.
The best is the series of events leading up to that because it's like someone's like, what if I do this? And someone was like,
no, dude.
yes.
No, first they're like, dude, no, that's so funny. I'm like, and they're like, yeah. But what if I did? And they're like, oh my God, yes.
And then they go to the artist. They're like, sit down, we're doing it right now. Like, it's just like, what?
And that means they have to Google a picture, and they're sitting there laughing their ass off, scrolling with their friend that said yes. Dude,
it's
take
insane.
it to the guy. The first one probably was like, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this to you. Yeah. So they go to like a shadier tattoo place, and they get it done by that guy. Here we are.
You run into a guy.
Fast forward to 2018. 2017 is when everyone died. 2018. No, 2016 is when everyone died.
So it was a couple of years ago at this point for Bill Cosby.
2016 is when everyone died.
What?
2017 is when everyone was a rapist.
Right, yeah.
Or abusers. Not all of them are Okay, I'm not going to get into that. They're all different. Okay? Don't bunch them all together. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah, so that was that year. What?
I didn't.
I'd like to pull out of this podcast. I can't be attached to this anymore.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah. So,
signing off. But no, tattoos. Cool.
You ever get a tattoo? Was it you who said you? No. Someone recently said to me they appreciate it, but they'd never actually get one.
I mean,
was that you?
That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
I feel that way about a lot of things.
Oh yeah, it was because we got all those temporary tattoos and we were tatting up at the diner.
Yeah.
And the waitress asked for one and we gave one to her and she lost it.
Yeah.
It was a good tattoo. It was one of the top 3 tattoo designs we had there too.
Honestly.
Sad.
Was it the pirate flag?
No, she had the giraffe.
Oh, dude, don't fucking tell me
that's what I'm saying, dude.
That's
I had a pirate sleeve going of temporary tattoos.
Oh my god.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't like the permanence of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird though because I'm a creature of habit, and I like if I like something, I'll do it for a very long time.
Right.
As you both probably know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I can.
So you wouldn't get a melee tattoo of any capacity?
I don't know if I could do it with a video game.
Really?
Yeah. I know that sounds like
Melee's never going to be bad though.
That's true. It's very true.
I fiddled with the idea of a stylized Star Fox.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if I had to do something, like I was thinking, like, did I want a Fox, like actual Fox McCloud? I was like, I think I just want like when you play Fox and you have his logo, it's the
yeah.
I
just thought about that,
back or some shit. That I think that would be really
that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that, but then I thought to myself, it would be hard to explain, like to me that's too heavy on the Star Fox series, and I'm not that invested in the series itself. Adam would be okay with it. Adam loves Star Fox.
Yeah, Star Fox.
Cool. But it would just be like, oh yeah, but he's my melee man. Like I couldn't get like the main series logo.
I don't think that would matter that much.
It would bother me. I feel like if
I've also had that thought where I'm like, I have to be into something before I get something related to it.
I would have to be able to back it up for sure.
Having me with Misfits, I was like, I knew Misfits fans were like really, if you're like into Misfits, you're really into Misfits.
Yeah.
So I finally was like, you know what? I've listened to enough of them. I can buy something.
Mm-hmm.
And that day, someone tried to talk to me about them, and I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. Like I was holding the thing I bought, and I was like, yeah, for sure.
I actually have a kind of relatable story to that. My dad gave me a hat. Because my dad is big in cars. Hat said JEGS. I forget what it stands for. It's like, I think it's like it's something performance parts for cars. And my brother, when he still lived at home, this was a couple years ago, was selling his car. And I was wearing this JEGS hat. No one was home. And this guy's knocking the door. And he's like, hey, I see you have the car for sale out front. I was wondering if I could take a look at it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And, like, once I got out there and, like, I was standing next to the car, I'm like, oh, God, wait, I'm wearing a JEGS hat. I was like, oh, God, is he going to ask me a question? Like, I was like, oh, God, I don't know anything about this car. And then he actually just started asking me, he's like, what happened here? And, like, do you know anything about this or that? And, like, spark plugs? And I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about cars, man. I don't know anything about this car in particular. It's my brother's.
I don't even live at this house that you just got me in.
I broke in and I just rolled with it when you knocked.
Yeah.
It was funny. I just felt like such an idiot. I'm wearing this. It's like a yellow hat too. It's like super obnoxious. I was just like, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think yeah. If I'm getting a tattoo, I have to be familiar with something enough where I can make a subtle reference to it that not everyone would get, and that would be the tattoo.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like if I got like a Killer's tattoo or something, like if it was gonna be referencing something that wasn't something I created or came up with, it would definitely have to do with the Killers. I would say, whether it's just like the K with like the dots, like the dotted K, or just like a lyric, but I wouldn't do like coming out of my cage and like
I like the idea
I would
of
do a very obscure
being based in something, but not necessarily attached to it. That's
or like personalizing it.
Yeah, I think a very important part of tattoos for me is personalization. Like I would never be on like a tattoo page and just be like, oh, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Like, I have to like concept it.
Imagine
first.
people just walking like, I don't know what I'm feeling. And just like flipping through. That's the one. Like, give me this.
So I could also see getting someone else's artwork though that you really like.
Yeah,
that still works. It doesn't have to be just me, but like I have to very much identify with whatever it is.
Like,
I feel some
actually,
personal
now that I think
connection.
about it, this might be starting to cut you off. This would be really. I just wish I was like. I do love Led Zeppelin, but I'm not as diehard. I have to know like to be considered like a good enough like a true fan of a band. I feel like you have to know 99% of every song on every album off the top of your head.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like
I think I know that with any band.
I don't know if I do.
I'll kick down like 90, 95. But. So I wouldn't do this because I don't consider myself enough of a diehard Led Zeppelin fan. But I think, Robert Plant is my favorite singer of all time. So maybe the Robert Plant, because they had their own symbols.
Oh yeah.
So maybe the Robert, is that the?
A lot of people have those.
Is his the feather?
Yeah.
Yeah, the feather.
For sure.
The Robert Plant feather. That would be kind of cool. I'm sure how many people have like Zoso or whatever the fuck? Or like
so many people have all four.
Yeah.
It'd be like Zoso, the feather thing, the trigram one, and the I forget.
John Bonham's is the. What is that? I think his is the. Or is that John Paul Jones?
I don't know, to be honest.
I forget what the fourth one is.
See, but I determined I wouldn't want, because I kind of liked the idea of that originally. Like the artwork that's always associated with Stairway to Heaven, the big dude with the lantern.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, that looks sick. How cool would that
but
be?
that's gotten to the point where it's become so common knowledge that like that reference has been made so many times in the same vein, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I agree. Like
it's too specific.
Oh, yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, a Killer's one. And this might be like subtle enough that people might not know about it. The single cover for Mr. Brightside is like the silhouette of a girl like with her arms back, and like from the side it's like this, and like the single cover it's like it's black and then she's purple and you see her silhouette. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, because not a lot of people know. Like no one knows like the single. Like if you like a lot of songs you don't really know what the single cover looks like in some cases. So I think that would be really cool, and I've had that. Like I've used that as my desktop picture and like my phone picture for so long, and like and I think it just looks cool. So maybe that I don't know.
I just think if you can look at something and be like, this is been a major part of my life, or it's majorly affected my life. I don't think you're ever going to regret getting it.
Yeah.
I think you might not care about that anymore at some point, but it's undeniable how much it took up of your life.
Yeah, like the whole like I can't help but take into account this is going to become part of my body.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like it's permanent. Like it's just going to like when I look at myself and I think about how I am in the world, that's going to be part of me now. Like, and so I want that to mean something and like be important to me, you know. So
I like that though. It's almost like a change. Like now this is on me.
Yeah.
This is there.
That's what I want.
This is as
too.
much a part of my body as like my finger. This finger is.
I was like, I finally got an idea where I'm like, I know if I do this one, I'm probably gonna get more after that because I doubt I'm gonna regret getting it, at least immediately. The gap in the time between the first and second, I won't regret getting it. But I finally found something where I'm like, I don't think there's ever a time where I'm gonna be sick of this because I think it's clever enough that it's like I don't. So I also. I'm scared of getting something too edgy and it being really cringe, but I think this toes the line where it's like, I mean, it's like stupid, but I don't think it's edgy or like I don't think I'm ever gonna regret in that sense. Or someone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's pretty cringe."
Did you have an example, or you're just saying?
The one I talked about.
No.
The lobotomy kit.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
I don't think that would be cringe.
I liked. I saw one too because when you briefly mentioned the Star Fox thing, there's this one when I googled just like Star Fox tattoos one time. It was just like I guess it was a fox, just like a head. And it was just like super stylized. Like, you really wouldn't even know it's Star Fox.
But can I think I know. Is it just like a realistic looking fox with the little thing?
The eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got like a knife in his mouth, and like it just looks cool.
Yeah.
I like that. You could be like, it'll be like, oh, what is that? I'm like, well, I really like Star Fox, so I thought it'd be cool to get like this cool stylized tattoo. That's kind of like Star Fox. It's not exactly Star Fox, but it's kind of inspired by it.
Yeah.
But it's its own thing still. Like, yeah, I like that whole.
Like, sorry, I didn't actually care that much.
Yeah.
I was making conversation.
They just walk away.
It's like, oh, so you're a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That is true.
That's the thing, too. Like, I don't know if I would want it to be that detailed, just personally, because, I mean, look at this set. Like, it's just very hard lines, like, very blatant elements, you know? So that's why I like the Star Fox logo, because it's very clean.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but it's effective.
Stamp.
You know? I'd want the Triforce, but that's so fucking overdone at this point.
It's pretty plain.
Yeah. Or, like, even the full Zelda thing with, like, the loft,
wing,
sky
loft.
wing. Yeah, the sky, yeah. Even that's been overdone at this point, you know, so it's like...
I also don't want to do color, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think I just want black and white.
If whenever I imagine, I always imagine just a black tattoo.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of coincidental that most of the things I would want to get are that color anyway. Like the Killers thing is just be black and white, you know? Because I don't know, like, it's going to... Like, the color is not always going to be as great as you want it to be, you know?
I don't think I think that's okay though. I don't think
that's okay. But for me, like personally, I just like I would want the colors to be like as vibrant as possible all the time. Yeah, and I know that's not gonna happen.
You can get touch-ups, couldn't you? I guess theoretically.
Yeah,
I don't know if people do that really, but.
But yeah, it wouldn't be something I would be into. So yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird. 2 years ago, I don't think I'd ever have anything like that. And then like Lizzie has like 5 tattoos. And that's crazy. Yeah.
Robert just got one, right?
Robert actually just covered up one of his other ones with a different one.
Oh, that was the one.
I forget which one he covered up, but
I don't know if that would have covered up the one I'm thinking about. I think that was on this side.
It might. I'm not sure.
The one with like the eye and the like that symbol that represents.
Yeah, no, I think it was the other one that he had.
I didn't even notice what the other one was. So I thought that was his first tattoo, and I totally forgot he even had any. Chandler didn't get one, did he?
No.
Okay.
We are talking about doing an episode of the podcast our podcast where we go to a tattoo parlor and interview the tattoo artist while he's tattooing us.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I kind of want to do, but also kind of, I don't know.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, it is a gamble.
You don't mess them up.
And if it's your first tattoo, it's probably going to fucking hurt.
Yeah. Chandler's doing it, though.
He's getting a tattoo?
He said if we're doing it, he said he wanted to do it.
Oh.
So.
What did he want to get, did he say?
Just our logo. The Lab 212 logo. Yeah, like a little stylized one. That
Dave Grohl has the Foo Fighters double F, like right at the base of his...
Is that it? So he got that. That's the album cover of...
Yeah.
That has Learn to Fly on it, I think.
Yeah, it's like... nothing you can... Or like there's nothing to leave behind or something. Like something... something like whatever Learn to Fly is on. Yeah. The third Foo Fighters album. color and shape is 2, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So the third
I'm
one.
looking this up.
The first one is the gun, the toy gun.
Yes.
Second
the
one's color and shape.
laser gun.
Yeah, third is Learn to Fly album.
What's your take, Adam? What's your take on which Foo Fighters album this
I mean,
is?
I also was thinking like
Probably third.
I might do that where Foxy, they got the backwards 5. Like every member got a backwards 5 for the Gonzo thing. It's my least favorite album of theirs, but
There's Nothing Left to Lose.
Nothing Left to Lose.
1999. Yeah.
I always get that mixed up with All That You Can't Leave Behind by U2. Like I get those mixed up because I think they came out
That's
the
a
same
mouthful. All
Yeah,
you
right?
can't leave behind.
All That You Can't Leave Behind. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. All that you can't leave. Okay.
It means whatever you want.
Nobody knows what it means.
What it means.
Bono doesn't know.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like maybe like I don't know. I feel like it'd be really narcissistic to get the jump, like a tattoo of my own silhouette on myself.
That's tough because it's you.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe just airspace somewhere.
In Japanese.
There we go.
In red.
That might actually be fucking lit. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Anything in Japanese might be fucking rad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, I saw a shirt that I really want. It's a Jurassic Park shirt, but Jurassic Park is in Japanese. Looks fucking cool.
We were at, for some reason, I was with Chandler and another friend, and we had we had to kill a bunch of hours because Chandler drove out here with Lizzie, and then Lizzie had to work. And so we had to kill time with Chandler until Lizzie was done work so she could take him home because they live like an hour away.
Yeah.
And we were just walking around the mall. We went to FYE, and that was actually like every shirt there was like that. It was like Western logo for a movie or something, and then the name in Japanese.
Oh, dude, that's...
There you go.
Like all in Japanese?
Yeah.
Or
pretty
just
much.
like...
I think I
would
saw
say
that
in
too. I
English
was
and
there
something.
recently. Lots of Japanese.
It's a very popular trend right now. Is Japanese lettering.
Love it.
It is cool. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's some like because I did the. It's not that intense, but the single cover for Making It Out, I put the kanji on it.
yeah.
And I just got that because every time I see like one of your favorite bands, if you like you've seen a gig poster for them, but if you see like the Japanese gig poster and it has like kanji on it, it just looks cool. I don't know. Like Andrew WK does a lot of stuff in Japan, and anytime I see a poster of his with kanji on it, it just looks. There's something about it. Like Cheap Trick does it too, a lot. They're really big.
I think
in
we're coming around way more to Eastern design, and culture.
I don't know, man. I like Japan in general just seems so cool. I don't know. That's. I think that's my number one country I'd like to visit. Japan.
Really?
Yeah. Just wish it wasn't a day and a half away.
Yeah, Japan would be pretty sweet. I want Australia. I want to go to New Zealand because I have Lord of the Rings.
I went to New Zealand too, actually.
It's such a cool thing where it's like you could watch this whole like 12-hour trilogy and be like, and that was actually shot in all pretty much the same place. So you could just go there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was mostly New Zealand. There's a thing, you know, what the Concords are.
I've heard of them.
Yeah,
he
comedy band.
The
Comedy band.
Yeah. One of them was a character in one of them, but apparently it's a meme in New Zealand because every like third person was a was an extra in the movie.
That's funny.
So like if you go there, you're not special if you were in Lord of the Rings because like statistically it's like a quarter of the population or something.
That's funny. It's like how Oasis sold so many records that statistically 1 in 3 people that you walk by is a fan of Oasis in England.
Really?
Okay, that makes more
What's the
sense.
story? Morning Glory sold 25 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
So statistically, 1 in 3 people, if you walked up to them, they would say they like Oasis.
That's funny.
That's insane.
It is insane.
25 million. Also, I guess it's the first time I remember this. The vocals in Wonderwall are way too fucking loud. No one's ever said it. They're really loud.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
They're like alarmingly loud.
Definitely
So-
loud.
I tried to learn that song as a meme, and I couldn't get the strumming pattern down because of the lyrics being so. I was having trouble hearing them.
Well, look, you have a day and a half with the intro that's like
Yeah.
twice as long as a usual guitar intro should be.
Yeah.
Because like, what did we just listen to where like you thought it was gonna kick in? Oh, it was a Green Machine.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, it was on
Yeah,
stream.
remember there was like
stream, yeah.
remember we thought it was gonna be 2.
I was
We're like, oh,
and then
2
it
more.
didn't happen, yeah.
And so Wonderwall is like you think it's gonna be 2 riffs, but it's 4. It's like a little too long.
I'm gonna do 6. That's my
Dude,
claim to
don't
fame.
don't do that.
I'm gonna do
We
8.
we do 5.
Apparently, they did everything right though. Apparently, the vocals weren't too loud, and it came at the right time because
That's what I mean.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like
most
one of the
popular
biggest.
song of
Yeah,
all time.
and that's. I'm not trying to take that away from him. It's just like
I'll do it.
I
I'll try
can't.
to take it away from
Yeah, I can't believe
It's not
no
gonna
one's
work,
ever.
I'll try.
But I can't believe no one's ever like brought that up at least. Like because when I'm listening to that album, I've had it in my car for a while. I'll like that the guitar will come on, I'll turn it up because it seems quiet, and then all of a sudden it's like today, and it's like what? Oh, it's so loud, and it's just so out in front in the mix, which it's like a big thing I don't like is vocals that are way too loud.
Yeah.
Because to me it sounds like you're doing like a YouTube cover in your room at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
that wasn't a thing then, dude.
yeah, it's true.
They weren't going for that. They couldn't
go for that YouTube cloud.
I'm so sorry.
Instead, they were terrorizing every party with their acoustic guitars.
Yeah. So, and don't get me wrong, I love that album. But I think Don't Look Back in Anger is far superior. So,
it's a hot take.
Apparently. All right, we're way over half hour, but so I guess we should just call it. This is a very wild card episode.
Very scatterbrained.
Started with funny kids in class.
Yeah. School.
Feels like years ago.
Yeah.
It was.
So. Oh, you know what?
How long
I was
have you been?
I was gonna say this. It's kind of tying into the last episode. I had a teacher in 7th grade. She was very nice. She was really cool, and she said she was a huge Pearl Jam fan. And she has a tattoo like on her ankle. Was
she Brian Schaefer?
Listen to me.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what's your tattoo? Like, it's just like a tribal tattoo. I was like, what is that? Like, is that any significance? She's like, it's a cover up. And I was like, for what? And she's like, have you ever seen like the Pearl Jam logo? And so she had the exact same tattoo that. I mean, it was on the cover of Alive, like the single of Alive.
Yeah.
It's just like the Pearl Jam little stick guy, and she had that tattoo. And she's like, and I toured with them, and I didn't want them to think that I was like a huge, like a fanboy or something. And I was like, and she also said that she played bass. And I'm like, did she tour? Like, so in my head I was like, oh, that's cool. She played in Pearl Jam, like on tour. And I realized later she was a groupie.
Yeah.
Because she just said she toured with them. I was like, oh. And I was like, I remember it was like the same year. I was like, and I was explaining, like, she toured with Pearl Jam. She's like, did she play? I was like,
no.
oh my god. So,
dude, she's from Seattle?
I realized, no, I think I don't know, but that's all she said. She toured with them because Eddie Vedder told her the story about Alive, and that's where I first heard the meaning of it.
Really?
She told it to the class and it was probably after that.
Yeah.
And I'm just realizing that kind of now. But she, I hope it was after, because that's a really fucked up thing to tell someone that you're about to have.
Just like, wow, dude.
Do you know it? It's pretty common knowledge now.
No, I don't know it, actually.
It's pretty dark. It's about his abusive mom and how she would abuse him in bad ways. So, yeah. So, anyway. But yeah, so she had that tattoo and she covered it up, and I realized, like, oh. For like a year, I was like, that's so cool. She played with Pearl Jam.
No. Pretty good group of Pearl Jam. Still pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Like, the fact that she had the conversation with Eddie Vedder about a song, that's pretty fucking rad.
That's
and
awesome.
that's still cool. Like, I like telling people that. I'm like, they're like, how do you know? I'm like, I mean.
Right from the...
Do you want me to get into, you want me to go into detail?
Right from the source.
But yeah, like, was your teacher hot?
I mean, she's pretty hot.
She also toured with Eddie Van Halen. That's a layered joke.
She's
that was a long time ago.
She's Valerie Bertinelli. Valerie Bertinelli was my English teacher in 7th grade. But yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a crush on her.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That means you have something in common with Eddie Vedder, then.
Okay.
Never mind.
There we go.
There you go, so 5.
Good. So, yeah.
I think we've been steadily losing Adam for the last 15 minutes.
We've also just been steadily losing the momentum of this podcast episode. You do that last night. I'm sure you. Like, I was talking, I looked around, like. It was before you're like, all right, E minor. E minor. I watched that clip recently. It's still funny.
What?
Where Patrick's in Squidward's house.
Right,
he's like, and now
something
Solitude. I think it's Solitude in E minor. He's like, all right, E minor, E minor. He's like, and he has like his arms over the couch, like.
That's too funny.
Oh man. So, all right. So I think we'll call it there. Thanks for sticking around if you did.
It's time to put this podcast to bed.
It's been a wild ride.
Tuck it in.
Yeah.
Kiss it on the forehead.
Yeah.
Say goodnight.
Yeah. Huh? Oh god. So, yeah, make sure to subscribe. We'll be back next week. And check out all the links in the description. Check us out on Airspace Live if you want to see this nonsense live. You know?
Check out Eddie Vedder.
Most of the time it's Adam with me, but sometimes it's Pat. He's our buddy.
If you've been here this long, check your posture. Make sure you're not slouching.
Yeah, that too.
I'm reverse slouching right now. I'm arching.
Yeah.
The next stream, or one of the streams after the time of this episode, is going to be the first time that it's Pat and Adam. You guys
right.
Yeah.
This Saturday.
How's that going?
It's going to go great.
I think it'll be the first stream that I'm not on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What's it? You going to be worried the whole time?
No, I'm going to see Kaylee in Boston.
I just like to imagine that you're going to be out with her, and then you're just going to be like, I just got to check on the stream real quick. Just going to make sure you're doing everything okay.
I'm gonna, and she's going to get annoyed. It's just yeah. Because I used to, in the very beginning, I would totally do that, where we would stream, I gotta listen to the VOD, see what it sounded. And I would just watch 20 minutes of the VOD. And she's there,
It's gonna be final, when you have a kid and you finally you're like, all right, you're gonna need a babysitter and we're gonna have fun tonight. And then every 15 minutes you're gonna be like, I'm gonna call and check in.
Yeah, but at least that's both the parents. You know? Yeah. But it was just me, I gotta look at it, and she's like, oh my god. She's very supportive, don't get me wrong, but I understand where she was coming from, because it was such a nightmare getting all the sound right in the beginning. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyway. But yeah, so stick around. I mean, go check us out.
It's cut.
You know what? Go check the stream. I'll be streaming right now.
I guarantee we're streaming right now.
Oh my god. We're doing a 36-hour stream as we speak.
Never not live.
Yeah. That's like Wubby. Whenever he puts out a new video, he's like, we're streaming right now. He's never streaming.
Well, every time I check. And
he's not.
No.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
But it's because he streams when the second he releases. Yeah. So if you're there on time, you'll probably find our stream.
But also, it always makes you go to his channel then, because
point.
Yeah. And he always adds a really funny clip when he does
So we're live right now, is what I'm saying.
Check out all the great content you're missing. I'm not going to do that right now, but down the line I will. So, yeah, be sure to subscribe. Follow us on twitch.tv/airspace live. I didn't say that the entire last episode. That was really weird, because we were too caught up in Brian Schaefer.
Patch it in.
Yeah. I'm going to add that to the role. The script is twitch.tv/airspace live. Find Brian Schaefer. What else is more important? Nothing.
Adam started manspreading.
Dude, stop.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have Vince blur that. Just put a. So yeah. Isn't it? It's always the case. If someone's like that, and they're just scratching their chin or their cheek, it's always that.
You can only do that when you're not wearing pants.
Yeah.
No one's ever scratched their cheek like that with pants on.
It's true. So it's been the longest outro yet.
You can keep going.
So yeah, twitch.tv/airspace live. Mm-hmm. Check it out. Every Thursday.
We're live right now.
Yes, we are. Bye.
Bye.